What's up, everybody? It's Brad and Andrew from Auto Off Topic. The coloring contest is back, and now much improved thanks to super listener Frank Eck. The contest is simple. Complete one of the pages of the coloring book found on our Facebook page or the Auto Off Topic Coloring Contest Facebook page in any of two mediums. Digital, using any computer program, or analog, be it colored pencil, marker, crayon, watercolor, however you choose. One entry counted per medium per person. Each individual can have a total of 2 entries, one per format. There will also be 2 age groups, age 15 and below and ages 16 on up. Links to the coloring book pages can be found on our Facebook page and the Facebook page for the coloring contest.
Electronic entries, including scanned entries, can be sent to us via email, autoofftopicpodcast@gmail.com. Paper copies can be sent by snail mail to Auto Off Topic Podcast Contest, 83 Lakeshore Drive, Georgetown, Massachusetts, 01833. Note, all hard copies received will not be returned, period. The contest runs through November 30th.
The companies and owners groups donating prizes are Mitsubishi Motors North America, Adventure Driven Design, Forest Performance, Palladian Trucks, Northeast Mitsubishi 4x4, Mitsubishi Montero Owners Group of the USA, Florida Mitsubishi 4x4, and Mitsu Nation Facebook group.
Please enjoy this free contest, and don't forget, entries must be postmarked by November 30th, 2017. Good luck.
So we took a picture of it and made a fake for sale ad for it on the Mass 2 classifieds.
What is it?
It's a Honda Accord.
Honda Accord?
Yeah. It's a Honda Accord dually.
Dually.
With Dodge Ram tow mirrors and light bars.
And, yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, welcome to episode 59.
Oh, you keep tricking me with this recording thing here. I'm showing you stupid things on the internet. Hello, Andrew.
What's up?
So you are Andrew, and I am Brad.
That's right.
As most of our listeners know by now. But if you're a new listener, that's about as professional as it gets.
Hey, this is like the 1-year anniversary week.
Is it really?
Yeah, like the 5th.
Happy 1-year anniversary,
Yeah.
Andrew. Am I supposed to get you something paper?
No.
All right, good.
We don't use paper, we use Google Docs.
Okay, excellent. I'm just thinking 1-year anniversary is paper.
Yeah.
Which you should remember for next year for your 1-year wedding anniversary.
But paper doesn't exist anymore, so you just use Google Docs.
No, paper exists for a lot of things. Just not for documents. Paper cups, paper plates, napkins, paper towels.
Ah, okay. And then, so it's episode 59, so a little better than 52.
Yeah, we had a few weeks. We've done 2 a week.
Yeah, I've been slacking on that, but we'll get back to it.
It's hard to promise it. That's the problem. We
Well,
both have busy lives, and
get to
podcast is important, but unfortunately, other things seem to keep getting in the way.
Well, I'd rather have one quality show than two like half
pieces of crap.
shows.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
If
when do
we've
we
got
record quality shows?
you can see yourself out.
Self-deprecating humor.
I mean, it depends. If we've got enough content, we'll do 2. If not, we're going to stick with 1. So that's what we're doing this week.
Yeah, well, we're going to do a second episode. We're going to do a project car update from the road from your running car, but that just didn't happen in time. So
Yeah, that's all right.
Also, we had a nor'easter here this weekend, which really kind of threw a wrench into the plans.
That was really weird.
Yeah.
Because it didn't seem like it was going to be that big a storm, and all of a sudden it was a giant
And
storm.
all of a sudden there were 90-mile-an-hour wind gusts.
Mm-hmm. and very, like, it's suddenly, it's the day after Halloween. And of course it's November 1st, but it is like suddenly November. Like it's all of a sudden.
I scraped my windows this morning.
Yeah, it was cold.
Yeah.
And I noticed, I was driving home, it was like gray, and there was like no leaves on the trees.
Yeah,
I was
well, they all get knocked over the 90-mile-an-hour winds.
I was like, oh, well.
Which actually some of our friends that live fairly close to us still don't have power 4 days after the storm.
It's crazy.
So it's not, there's nothing to laugh about. It really kind of took us by surprise. Hurricane force winds, it's not a hurricane, so.
No,
and the problem is a lot of the people that would be fixing the power outages are still in Texas and Florida and Puerto Rico trying to help out down there.
Oh, okay.
So the infrastructure is a little screwy right now. So anyway, what do we got to talk about this week, Andrew? Other than storms and sweet dually Hondas I was talking about before.
We might as well get into project car updates.
As we know, I'll start with mine. There are none.
Well, it's been steady at least.
I had the Blue Colt back on the road.
Well, there you go.
Which actually tomorrow night, when we do have some garage time, I'm going to have to drain the straight water out of it, put coolant in it.
I was thinking about that this morning. It was really cold. I was like, wonder if he took the water out of that.
It wasn't cold enough to worry about it yet. It got down to like 38 last night. So it was frost in the windows, but it wasn't enough to freeze standing water.
It's got to be 32 for a couple hours.
Yeah. So I'm going to take care of that tomorrow, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Put some actual coolant in there instead of just straight water.
And we're going to do the valve stem seals.
Well, we've been teasing that for the past 6 months.
Let's just do it.
Yeah. Well,
because my Montero is back together.
It is.
So that was the thing. We didn't do project updates last week because we did a bunch of questions. So we missed the whole part where I tore the thing down to the timing belt.
Did we describe what the problem was before?
Maybe, but we'll recap it.
Yeah, just a quick recap of what happened.
The cam gear has a shutter wheel that spins through the cam sensor. The truck had a code, finally, because it wouldn't start, for a cam sensor. So obviously it didn't know where it was top dead center, and it wouldn't fire the injectors or the spark plugs at the right point, and it wouldn't start.
I didn't know it actually pulled a code eventually.
It did. And then, so I took the whole thing apart, and I do remember saying this part. The cam sensor basically fell out of the timing area. So, upon closer inspection, the shutter wheel had been bent at some point, and it smashed the crank sensor off of the engine where it mounts.
It didn't snap it off. It slowly wore through it. That's pretty much what happened.
Nope, and then it broke it off.
Right. So it wore through it until there was not enough material left and it snapped in half.
No, it broke it off the mounts.
Oh, really?
It eventually smashed it off of it. So I ordered a new crank sprocket. No, a cam sprocket and a shutter wheel. And we're doing the timing belt. And I had to take it off of the crank sprocket. And it wouldn't come free from the roll pin, and it seized to the harmonic balancer, which is weird because I had it apart in the spring when I was inspecting it. And then in separating it, I kind of chipped the teeth on it. So I was like, whatever, I'll just order a new one because it's like $60. Like, there's no reason to put a busted one back in with chipped teeth.
It probably wouldn't have been okay, but you're better
in a
off
pinch,
it,
whatever. It was easy to get from. It was RC Hill Mitsubishi sells via Amazon.
Okay.
So they sold a cam gear, crank sprocket, the shutter wheel, and a bolt for like $80.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
I was like, perfect. So
where are they out of? Do you know?
Florida.
Okay.
I've ordered from them before. Pretty good. I put it all back together, and it's kind of a bummer because I did tear it all down in the spring to inspect for stuff where this noise was coming from. And I didn't check the cam gear for some reason. But, meh.
Because it didn't make any sense that a cam gear would be making noise because it's like a solid single-piece unit. You weren't thinking about the shutter wheel inside of it.
I sort of was, but I was more focused on the crank one because I've seen the crank ones get bent during timing belt jobs and make a similar noise. So it definitely makes, there's definitely like a piston slap in there, but it's not making like a crazy loud noise like it was, which I think it was getting louder, but I thought it was my imagination.
So it's significantly quieter now then?
Yeah.
I haven't heard it run yet.
But. Yeah. I posted a video of it running to my Instagram.
Apparently I didn't catch that. Because Instagram's logarithms now are screwy, just like Facebook's are.
You don't have me set to get alerts when I post?
I do not.
I have you set. I get alerts when you post stuff.
All right, I'll have to change that, Andrew.
Man.
Maybe I do, actually.
That's why I like your stuff within like a second.
I haven't noticed that you like my stuff.
Oh, come on.
I have to be a better Instagrammer.
Man.
Maybe I do have it set that way, but I just haven't, I don't know. I have to work during the day, Andrew. I miss some things that happen and stuff.
Well, on the plus side, I took the radiator out to work on it. I had a junkyard metal one instead of the plastic one that came in the truck. My dad was around during the day, so he took it to the radiator place, and they said they cleaned it and pressure tested it, and it was fine for like $40. I was like, all right, cool. And then we got it back to the house, and we just kind of ran some water through it. It was like super rusty. I was like, that's weird.
So what did they do?
Yeah. So I just kept flushing it until it was clear.
So did they pressure test it but not clean it?
Maybe.
They put it in the pressure tester and like, it's fine. Set it aside.
Yeah, I don't think they cleaned it. It's kind of a bummer. But I took some Eastwood radiator paint and just kind of touched up the end tanks. And then
100-point restoration job.
Yeah.
Good job, Andrew.
Had it all nice and cleaned up.
All ready for Mistlewood Concord Elegance next year.
The thermostat that was in the truck was probably fine, but since there was no coolant in it, I tossed in a new OEM one.
Yeah. As we've all learned, whenever you get a new car that's old, it's just routine maintenance just to change the
Just
thermostat.
toss it in.
Yeah,
like
it's like $8. It's totally worth it.
Yeah. Then did the new radiator cap, too, because I needed that.
Yep.
What else? Anything else to that?
Keep the old functioning parts in the glove box just in case, but...
Yeah. So I had it back together last Friday night. It's running, and
Have you driven it yet?
I drove it around the block.
Oh, okay.
Drove fine. Drove just like I did before. Just a little less noisy.
I just noticed it wasn't here at the house, so I wasn't sure.
Well, I need So where we live is near Salem, Massachusetts, which is apparently the epicenter of Halloween in the entire world, or they like to think they are.
Oh, no, they are. There's no question.
So it makes the traffic over the last week and the entire month of October, because where I live is one of the main roads into Salem, has been terrible. So that's why my parents' house is on the outskirts of Salem. I did not go to get the Montero because I would need to ride over there and to come back.
Ah, okay.
And we just left it over there, so I'll probably go grab it tomorrow night.
Gotcha.
What else did I do? Oh, we did have a nice day the other weekend. Not the weekend it rained, the weekend before. I tried to put the window tint in the back window of the WRX, and it's pre-cut, and it fit really nice, and I got it in there without it sticking to anything, and as soon as I tried to squeegee it, it just wrinkled instantly. But I think that I needed to, I was watching some YouTube videos, you need to, heat shrink it to the window first, on the outside.
So heat the window up on the outside?
No, you, lay the film on the outside of the window,
okay.
and you, shrink it to the curvature. It doesn't have a huge curve, but it's just enough.
Just enough.
So I'll have to get another piece, but...
I mean, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, but basically, here's my thing. When you have a pro do it, the entire cost of labor is basically doing the back window.
Yeah, probably.
Because
It's probably the most difficult part of the whole car.
it is. It absolutely is. And that's really what you're paying for, because the side windows were super easy. And then it was so nice that day. I also gave Stephanie's Crosstrek a coat of wax because, FYI, dealerships do not wax your brand new car.
No, they do not.
They do not.
They wash them.
They wash them. They clean the tape off if it comes with protective plastic on it, and that's it.
Yeah, they don't do much.
No.
To be fair, the fresh paint shouldn't need wax right away, but it's still worth doing it.
Yeah. So I threw a coat of... Yeah, there's no, there's an old myth that you have to let the paint cure.
It's not that it's an old myth.
Okay.
It used to be that you couldn't wax the paint right away. But with the modern paint technology and everything, the way paint is baked onto a car, and it's a different formula than it used to be, you could pretty much wax it right away.
That's the other thing, too. The car was probably built 3 months ago.
Well, you can look at the date in the door jamb. It'll tell you exactly when it was built.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, it was put on a container ship and came over from Japan, so probably spent at least a month and a half on the ocean.
Yep.
So the paint's definitely cured.
Yeah, well, it's cured the day after they paint it. So.
Yeah. Well, yep, exactly.
Yeah.
I wanted to get...
We can polish and wax cars at work the next, hour after they're done.
Yeah. I just wanted to get a coat of wax on it before anything got really stuck to it.
Yeah, it's totally worth it.
But it was weird. I bought the Tech Wax that we really like, had good luck with. Constantly, I was just shaking the bottle, and it would just spray out wax, and then the liquid with it.
That's weird.
This milky water with it.
It wasn't mixed up right.
I shake it and shake it and shake it, and it won't.
Maybe it just separated. It'd been sitting on the
It's
shelf
weird.
too long somewhere.
It still works. But
I haven't owned a nice enough car to wax in a long time, so I don't know what the products are out there.
well, Tech Wax is pretty good.
I remember that used to be the top of the stuff when I had a
And
car
it's
to wax.
cool because, especially on a car like the Crosstrek, if you're, I mean, I was careful, but if you're slightly sloppy and you get it on the black,
Comes off.
it comes right off and it doesn't leave white marks.
Yeah. I know there's probably some detailer people that listen to the show that are listening to it going, Tech Wax, blah, you have to use this thing from somebody's polishes as a professional wax product seller. But Tech Wax is probably the best you can buy at AutoZone.
I mean, there are people that are really into detailing. I'm not. I'm into having clean cars, and I'll throw a coat of wax on them, and maybe once a year I'll clay bar a car, but I physically cannot see the difference.
I can see the difference in certain colors. Like a really dark color, like a black or a dark blue, you can see the difference.
Yeah.
But
I've definitely done, when I had my STI that was black, the black Obsidian that had metallic in it, I would do a clay bar and then it was like some polish thing and then the Tech Wax.
yeah, which is the same thing I did on my black Evo.
And it really reduced the amount of swirl marks, and that looked really nice. But I don't get into the whole machine buffing, paint correction. I honestly don't believe in that. There are people that will probably want to argue that with me, but I don't believe that's a thing.
Well, I believe there is a difference if you're really into it. Like somebody who's a real connoisseur of something can tell the difference between two different things.
I guess.
And I think it's worth it for somebody to do it. And I've had cars detailed professionally that I know I couldn't do the same look myself.
Really?
Yeah.
100%. I never thought that.
Yeah, 100%. Even with that old Honda that I sold last year, I had that car professionally detailed. And when that car was done, man, the thing looked brand new. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I just don't. I'm so DIY. I just hate paying people for stuff like that.
I get it, but I don't know if it's a car that I'm not really into. Like, I will send my truck out to have it detailed because it's big and dumb and will take 2 whole days for me to do it.
Yeah.
When I could be doing something else, and I don't really like I like my truck. I know I joke about it being my big dumb truck all the time, but I do like the truck, and I want to keep it nice. But I can't, I washed it by hand for the first time the other day.
Yeah.
And I wanted to kill myself halfway through it. Because I was like, man, I'm not done yet. I have to dry this stupid thing. It's so big, and there's so much real estate to clean.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to wax that truck.
Like, there's some stains in the paint of the WRX because it had some leaves fall on it from my stupid tree in my yard.
Yep.
And just waxing it didn't take it off, so I'm going to have to, do a clay bar or something to get them off.
Yeah, clay bar and polish and wax.
If that doesn't work, then yes, I would consider paying somebody to buff the car because I do want it to look nice. Because even though it's a daily driver, it's
I will
in
totally
good
throw out
condition.
a plug for local people to go to my buddy Steve over at 360 Motorsports.
Yeah.
Right in Salem, Mass. Because he is amazing at that kind of stuff.
All right.
Really, really good. I had him do my sister's car one year when she had that Lancer.
Yeah.
With the beige interior. Mm-hmm. And she had at the time, 2-year-old, and a 2-year-old and a dog. Mm-hmm. And that tan cloth interior was just beat. Mm-hmm. And he made it brand new again.
Yeah, generally,
brand new.
if you can avoid tan in an automobile,
Especially cloth.
yeah,
Especially cloth.
it's not a good move.
Light colors in general and cloth are not good moves.
Yeah, they can look good if you're like a single person.
Yeah, if you have a family, specifically if you have a family, avoid tan
And
cloth.
pets, yeah, just don't.
I mean, I have a couple cars with white interiors, but at least they're vinyl.
Yeah, that was the
it can be
70s,
clean.
man.
Yeah, at least it can be clean like vinyl.
It's better than black interior, I guess, with no air conditioning.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm okay with it either way.
Well,
At the moment.
I guess that covers project car updates.
Yeah, I don't really have any good ones. I didn't really, like I said, I haven't really done much other than I have the Blue Talon, the Blue Colt on the road.
Yeah.
That was off the road for a little while. Wasn't a mechanical issue. It was just a timing and getting to the registry and getting it re-registered issue. But that's all taken care of, so that's good.
Hey, I have this question. If you could if you had a Colt,
I do have a Colt.
okay, if you had one, or even that one, and I was like, here, we'll put a full electric drivetrain in it with a manual transmission.
Nope.
Would you do it?
Nope.
Why not?
Do I only have one Colt?
You don't only have one Colt.
I'm saying in this scenario, do I only have one Colt?
No. All right. So, say one of these Colts that people keep pawning off on you.
Okay.
Would you consider doing like a full electric drivetrain?
Maybe I consider it.
It'd be kind of neat, wouldn't it?
Yeah, maybe I consider it. I'm not. I won't look to do it. But if somebody handed me the product to do it with, I would do it.
I just want to I want to take an old car and put an electric motor in it. Something.
Yeah, it doesn't really do much for me.
I just want to do it because I just like putting things together.
Well, we have our friend who has an old electric car that wants to make it run again, so that might be even easier to do it that way.
Yeah.
He has a electric Leopard.
Which is the little car,
It's
right?
an electric car, yeah. Which he has the whole car complete.
There's got to be
batteries and stuff.
There's got to be a homebrew way to update it.
Oh, I'm sure there is, and there's definitely people online that have done it.
Yeah.
But it's just we're trying to find the cheapest way to do it and still make it work because he doesn't want to spend a ton of money on it because the car's not worth anything.
Well, that's what I mean. There's got to be a homebrew way to do it.
I'm sure there is, but I mean, I don't know enough about it.
Okay,
basically.
so that would be like a super unique electric car. You wouldn't be into that?
A La car?
Yeah.
No, I'd totally be into it, but I don't want. It's not my car. Number one, and number two, it's not my money.
Okay.
So,
But if you had access to unique electric car that wasn't like everybody else's electric car.
oh yeah, 100%. I would totally drive it.
All right.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Just be different.
Yeah. I mean that
Just keep my hipster points going, Andrew.
exactly. I think it'd be kind of fun to have an old car, especially that had like a busted engine, just put an electric motor in it.
I guess. I mean, I really like the blue Colt the way it is.
Yeah.
But maybe if the brown Colt, I wouldn't be adverse to doing that with. Rather than that thing electric. That thing looks like it could be electric.
I think it'd be more fun to have a rear-wheel drive car like that.
Yeah, probably, because the instant torque and everything.
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever. I would do it. I don't want to get back on an whole electric car episode here because we
Why not?
discussed it last episode.
It'd be like a big RC car.
When you put it that way, it's a little more intriguing, I guess.
I mean, it doesn't have to be your everyday car. It'd just be kind of like this fun, weird thing that has an electric power plant. But anyway, it was a random thought I had today.
I would do it, but I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't look to do it, but if the opportunity arose, I would do it.
Yeah.
It's also like for the electric car conversions, like the professional ones for vintage cars, it's like $20,000. It's not cheap.
I know. I don't want to pay someone to do it. I want to do it.
Like it was the EV West, the company out in California.
Yeah, but
It's a lot of money.
no, I want to. It's just like the same thing where I'd want to build like an Exocet kit car just to build it.
And maybe just sell it.
And maybe drive it for a little bit and then just get rid of it. I
don't want to own it.
It's like putting a model kit together. I just want to put it together to put it together sometimes.
Yeah. Plus, you're the model kit. You put it on your shelf and look at it. So, yeah, exactly. I agree.
I don't know. Those are just random thoughts.
Deep thoughts.
Yeah.
Andrew Pascarella.
So, everybody's been watching Stranger Things on Netflix. However,
I will admit I just started Stranger Things
However,
today.
We won't spoil it. But we will talk about Wheelman.
Yes, a Netflix movie, actually.
Yes.
Netflix original movie.
Yes. So if you've burned through Stranger Things, or you can somehow manage to take an hour and a half break, you should check out Wheelman.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's not the world's best movie by any means, but it's a cool car movie.
I think it's a really cool car movie.
And it's filmed here.
Yeah.
Which is, I didn't know.
I didn't realize until you mentioned it because you'd watched it before me, and then I was watching all the backgrounds, and I was like, I recognize a lot of those places.
Yeah, exactly. A good portion of it was filmed in Lawrence, Massachusetts, which is like 2 towns away from me. And how I missed them filming...
And Lynn, which is a town away from here.
Yeah. Like, how I missed the fact that it was a car chase movie being filmed.
Because it was filmed entirely at night.
But still, I think I would have known it.
It was like Boston, Lawrence, Lynn, and Melrose.
Maybe Melrose, yeah. But I didn't even pick up on it. I picked up on one of the characters had an accent, had a Boston accent,
Yeah.
the guy on the phone. And I picked up on it there, and I was like, oh, that's got a Boston accent. And then they drive over the Zakin Bridge, and I was like, oh, they're in Boston.
Oh, yeah, definitely, over the Zakin Bridge.
Yeah, and then I wasn't thinking about much about it at all after that. I was like, oh, I must have filmed it in and around Boston. And then one of the main scenes in the movie takes place in a parking garage, and they roll into the parking garage, and I'm like, that's in Lawrence. They filmed that thing in Lawrence. Because it's a brand new parking garage, and I definitely recognized it.
Boston, Chelsea, Lawrence, Lynn, and Malden.
Yeah, okay. It's all very local. It's all within 10 miles of here.
I liked the way that it was filmed.
It was filmed really
It
cool.
was filmed entirely in the car, like a...
Yeah, there wasn't much. There were no outside shots, were there? Yeah, there were a couple.
But it was basically everything from scene in... You were, like, inside the car, basically, for almost everything.
There was no acting outside the car either.
No.
Everything happened from inside the car.
So I thought that was a really cool way to do it.
And they used a lot of, like, mounted on the door shots.
Yep, and it was just, like, a lot of practical effects. It was very cool.
Well, it's funny because the movie starts, and he's in an E46 BMW.
Yep.
And it's got a Momo Prototipo steering wheel.
Yep.
I was like, man, somebody that built the car for this movie is clearly a Porsche fan.
And then they...
Porsche fan. I did it again, damn it.
And then, but at the very beginning of the movie, it's hard to hear. The car gets pulled out,
Okay.
and then he's talking to the mechanic, whatever. He's like, oh, did you put that steering wheel in that I wanted or something, whatever?
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but then later in the movie, he changes to be driving a mid-'80s 911 Porsche.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, somebody that made this movie is definitely... And that car also had the Prototipo steering wheel in it. So I was like, oh, that's a common theme here of Porsche people.
It had a cool... it had a couple cool chases in it, and the rest of it was just kind of driving around. It was cool.
Yeah, it was a little
And the
more
sounds were
suspense.
correct.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was really well done.
I liked it.
Yeah, like I said, it's not going to win any Emmys or what do you call them for movies there?
Oscars.
Oscars. It's not going to win any Oscars, but it's definitely a good hour and a half mindless film.
Well, I wouldn't say mindless. I mean...
Maybe a little less than mindless, but...
No, go watch it. It's fun.
It's like
I would
Driver.
Put it,
Was Driver the other movie?
Yeah, I would put it in
Similarity.
my... As far as, like, car chase movies, it's probably top 3 because it's just...
Top 3?
It's purely in the car. It doesn't... Listen, Baby Driver was cool, but it had a lot of stuff going on outside.
I still haven't watched Baby Driver.
All right, we'll have to watch that over here. It had a lot of stuff going on outside of the cars. Like, it wasn't a car film. It was a heist movie.
That happened to have car chases?
Yes.
I've seen like the first half of the first opening scene.
Yeah.
Like, not quite the whole scene.
So I actually, as far as, like, that type of movie, I liked Wheelman better as a car chase movie.
Okay. Well, it's as a proper car chase only movie. Name another car chase only movie.
It would have to be the original Gone in 60 Seconds.
But that's not car chase only.
No.
There's outside the car stuff in that too.
Okay.
So you're saying top
Okay,
3,
okay,
and then you can't name any other ones.
Okay,
If that's how specific your genre is going to be, that it has to all take place in the car.
Okay.
Then I don't know where you're going with that because.
All right. So, I mean,
Drive was the one I'm thinking of.
Vanishing Point.
Yeah,
There's a lot in the car.
Yeah,
Two-Lane Blacktop is almost entirely in the car.
almost.
It's similar to Two-Lane Blacktop, where it's just like not a ton of dialogue.
There's a good amount of dialogue. He's on the cell phone all the time.
Actually, there's a lot more
there's a lot of
dialogue than probably Two-Lane Blacktop.
The only one I can think of is like the Duel.
Okay.
That's a lot of in the car.
Yep.
But
All right.
That's a much better movie than Wheelman.
Oh, I don't know.
The Duel? That's a great movie.
It is a great movie, but it's got that 1970s pacing, so it's a little different.
Wheelman's not very fast of a movie either. It's pretty slow.
Yeah, I liked it though.
I don't know.
Andrew gives it 2 thumbs up.
Bottom line, you're not going to waste your time watching the movie.
No, because on Netflix and you have it anyways.
And if you like car chases of any kind,
you've already paid for Netflix.
Don't go into it expecting it to be a car chase heavy movie because it's not. It's really not. There's only a few chase scenes.
It's like a noir, like kind of.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like it.
You're not going to get the classic bullet chase scene.
No,
because it's a little different than that. But it's a cool movie to watch. Yeah. And it's car guy cars. It's, it's E46 with the stick and a 911. So it's cool.
And the sound was good.
And the sound was good. Anybody else drive a cool car in that movie? No, there weren't any.
No.
Just kind of lame vehicles. Everybody else did.
Have you watched any of Mindhunter?
I have not.
It's just filled with Malaise-era cars.
Which is what, like 74, 75 to 95?
It takes place from like 1977
I'm
to
saying
like,
the Malaise era. They say it's like, what, 75 to 95, I think.
I guess.
Something in that range.
It takes place from 77 to 80. So it's just a bunch of like four-door American cars.
A bunch of really boring, lame cars that are cool to see now.
Yeah, anything that you would think that the FBI would drive in the 1970s.
So very similar to
The Americans.
the Americans.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very, very similar to the Americans. Which is another show with great background cars.
Yep. And now Stranger Things has great background cars, too.
Yes.
Because that takes place in 83?
The current season is 84.
84. First season was 83.
Yeah.
A couple of minor mistakes already in the first show, but I've only seen episode 1. So.
I don't notice it as bad.
Well, there's a Volkswagen Transporter, like a Westphalia style, the square headlight ones, but it has a set of like modern 17-inch wheels on it.
Oh.
And that bothers me.
All right.
And the Caprice police cars, half of them have composite headlights, and half of them have sealed beam headlights. And the composite headlight cars didn't come out until 88.
All right, whatever.
So that bothers me a little bit. But overall, it's pretty good.
Yeah, those are weird things to notice.
Well, the big wheels on the Volkswagen are not.
Yeah.
I think that was pretty blatant. I've noticed that in a few movies where they get an old car and they'll have a modern set of wheels on it, and that really kind of ruins it for me, personally.
But Hopper's Blazer is back.
Yes, it's awesome.
That's like, and he just does a lot of burnouts in it.
Not in the first episode he doesn't, but I can't wait to see that later on.
The Pinto's back.
The Pinto is also awesome.
There's a new character, Bob, has a Camry.
Yeah, a two-tone Camry hatchback, which actually belongs to somebody that we sort of know. We Facebook know.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool to see on there.
And what else? Oh, so the new high school
guy.
bully has a Camaro.
Yeah, like an 80 or an 81 Z28 in blue.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's like
He just burnouts everywhere.
it's like the perfect dirtbag car.
Yeah. Which makes you want one now.
Yes.
I actually have watching that show and going to Scale Project Cars, I have a plastic model of that Blazer.
Yeah.
And I think I really want to make a Hawkins Police Department. Or sheriff or police?
Police.
Police, okay. Hawkins Police Department truck out of it.
You should.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to.
It's either that or the Jaws one.
No, because the Jaws one's top off.
Yeah.
And it's molded with the top on. And the Hawkins police truck has a top on. So.
And it's like super easy decals to make.
Yeah, it's just
because it's like it's just like
squared off
letters.
lettering. Yep. So I think I'm gonna make that.
Yeah, so that's good. Like, there's definitely some sweet cars in that.
Yeah, don't give me any spoilers because I've only watched the first episode so far.
No, I won't. But
there's a lot of cool '80s stuff in that. Like a lot of cool period. Like they're in the arcade and it's all period correct video games, which is really cool to see too.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, you can tell their budget like went way up.
It went up a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of like pop music and stuff now in it. So it was very, very, very cool. I finished all of them already.
Yes. I figured you would very quickly. I haven't had much time lately, so I need to get into watching some stuff.
But that brings us to events then.
What events?
What do we do Saturday?
Oh, Cars and Coffee at Lars Anderson in
Yes.
Brookline, Massachusetts. Which actually, we had a long talk with Sheldon,
Yes.
who is the curator of the museum.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to have him on as a guest, I think, hopefully pretty soon,
Yep.
to talk about the museum and its history and the events that are going on there and events that are planned in the future.
Yep. And
So that might be
maybe
kinda cool.
we need to discuss, there's some other stuff we might do with the museum. So
Yeah, so that might be really cool because they're a pretty big deal around here.
Mm-hmm.
As far as local car culture goes, they kind of have their finger on the pulse of everything because they have each theme we talked about before. You know, the theme car shows they have, and everybody goes there. And anybody who's a car guy in Massachusetts has spent some time at the Lars
They have an
Anderson
excellent
grounds.
social media presence, too, as far as driving traffic to their events. Literal traffic and internet traffic.
It becomes a crazy traffic jam pulling into the parking lot sometimes. In fact, this weekend for Cars and Coffee, I don't know what time you got there, because you rode up with our friend Joe in his Z06.
Yep.
And I drove up myself in my Colt when I got there after you guys, and I pulled up to the gate. Now, bear in mind, the event started at 8.
Mm-hmm.
I got there at 8:30.
I think we got there maybe at 8:15.
And I was told the lot was full, and I'd have to park on the street. But that I couldn't turn around. I had to drive all the way around the block and come back. And I was a little upset because I had thought the event started at 9.
Yeah.
So when I got there at 8:45, I thought I was early, and I wasn't. But I pulled into the parking lot, and this guy who I know from other events, I know he's part of like Mass Tuning and a couple other things. He was like, "Oh, you here for Cars and Coffee?" I was like, well, I'm driving through in my old car. So
He's the one that parks everyone.
He doesn't work at the museum, though.
No?
No, he only parked everyone for Japanese Car Day and for this.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, he's like, "Oh, yeah, there's spots down there at the bottom of the hill." And I was like, "Oh, sweet." So I didn't have to turn around and park in the street, because that would have made me a little upset.
Yeah.
Because it's a huge lot. It's not a small lot. So I wouldn't think that they'd be, 45 minutes into the event, they'd be closed off. But we estimate there were at least 300 cars there.
Mm-hmm. Of everything.
Yeah, of everything. They're like not even a...
From inexpensive cars to extremely expensive
multi-million-dollar cars. Yeah. Like, was one Gullwing or two?
I only saw one 300 SL.
Yeah, it's 300 SL Gullwing. And there was a closed-fendered convertible Delahaye.
Yep.
Which, like, multi-million-dollar car. Like, Pebble Beach winning style car.
Yeah. Next up, what was it, like an E36 convertible?
Yeah, like only time in that car's life will he parked next to a ratty E36 convertible.
Yeah.
But I mean, there was everything. Like, I parked in between, actually, our new friend Paul, who has the R32. We just met at Japanese Car Day.
Oh, yeah.
That's what the open spot happened to be, next to him. But the other side of me, there was like a 2008 Ford Fusion. So
yeah, it was weird. Whatever.
But whatever. If somebody's into it, it's Cars and Coffee. There's no rules. Just whatever you want to bring.
Yeah.
So I was parked in between a Skyline and a Fusion. So it just happens to be that way. But there was a ton of cool cars there. Like a ton. Like, if somebody took pictures of the event and told me it was Southern California Cars and Coffee, and I couldn't see the changing colors in the trees, I probably would believe them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just the variety.
Our friend Al was there with his, he recently purchased, what year is that, Capri?
A 71 Ford Capri.
Yeah.
17,000 original miles.
Yeah.
Like, all original paint, interior. Gorgeous car.
Which, talking to him, apparently those were sold through Mercury dealers?
Yes. Yeah, they sold at Mercury dealers.
But
just at the Mercurs later on.
But it's a German-built Ford.
Yeah, it's built in Cologne, Germany.
Weird. What a weird thing.
Yeah, so it's absolutely stunning. Like, I've never seen one that nice. Even in the 80s, I didn't saw one that nice.
No.
Like, it's amazing that car survived in that condition.
No. It's bright yellow with a vinyl top. It's so 70s.
Yeah, but it works.
Yeah, it looks cool.
It works. It looks like it should be, like, parked on the street in Ashes to Ashes.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
It's a very, very cool car. Unfortunately, it's an automatic, but when you find a 17,000-mile all-original car, you take what you get.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not, you don't hold out for the same condition car in a 4-speed. But the V6 with the 3-speed automatic is not a terrible car.
No.
So it's quite a nice car.
Yeah.
What was your favorite car there the day, probably? Other than, like, the Delahaye and the crazy stuff. 300 SL.
Oh, see, I was going to say, I really like that 300 SL.
Yeah, I know you do. That's why I took it off the
because it was metallic blue with blue plaid interior.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Which is like
gray steelies.
Yeah, it's color match steels.
Oh,
with no trim rings.
There was no metallic. It wasn't a metallic blue. It was like a concrete blue almost.
Yeah, whatever. It was very. It was a very light blue, but like I don't know.
It was almost like Nardo gray Audi paint. Or Dolphin Gray 356 Porsche, but more blue.
So like the Crosstrek color.
Yes,
but not
the Crosstrek.
Not quite as bright. No. Anyway, that was
gray.
What? I don't know.
I was a big fan of the Trabant.
Is that what that was?
It threw me for a loop because I've never seen a Trabant wagon in person. And I'd never seen a Trabant that was painted anything other than beige. So it was kind of like it was a more brown than beige with a green
roof.
Green roof.
I didn't realize what that was.
Yeah, I don't know if it would have been sold that way brand new or not. It had like, a chrome grille and chrome headlight rings and stuff I wouldn't normally expect to see on a Trabant.
Yeah.
But it was really cool looking.
See, I liked the Morgan that was next to it.
Yeah, the green one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
And then there was a neat 911 with martini stripes.
Yes.
I had a picture of it and a blue plate.
A narrow-bodied 911 martini stripes.
But I'd probably go with that Morgan. That Morgan was interesting.
It's hard to pick a favorite because there were just so many cool cars there. Like, a lot of cool cars.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of combining. Oh, that 240Z, that was probably your favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Green 240Z.
Yep. That was a really pretty car.
So,
with the Watanabes.
I don't think they weren't real Watanabes, but they were Watanabe style. It might have been I don't know. I don't know what, maybe they're Enkis or who knows. One of the other 8-spoke brands.
Yeah.
Kapamoto.
Well, it worked for them. They looked really good.
Yeah, they looked like Watanabes, which is the look he was going for, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But
and I like
being a Watanabe snob, I looked for the stampings and didn't have them. So
I like the green, metallic green on the saddle interior. That was really cool.
Yeah, it was perfect. The covered headlights.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I would have done differently was it had black bumpers.
Yeah.
And it had a duckbill spoiler. And I would have...
That was body color.
Duckbill spoiler black to match the bumpers instead of body color. But
all right.
Minor little thing. It's nothing... I certainly wouldn't turn the car down.
So what... Oh, the RS6 Audis? What were those cars?
No, RS4s.
RS4s.
Yeah, like our friend Matt had.
Yeah. But there was only like... What did you guys tell me? There was only like 1,000 of those cars ever built or imported?
Imported in this country? I don't know if it's 1,000 or 2,000. It's a low number.
And there was like...
There were like 12 of them there.
There are like 8 there, and they're all the same color.
Yeah, they're all dark gray.
It's so weird.
Those cars sound really good at the beginning.
They are really cool cars, though. Very fast.
I
like very unassuming, very fast. So... But then... so Sunday, I was busy. I was cleaning up the garage after working on my truck. So I was doing that in the morning. But you went to...
Another Cars and Coffee.
Yeah.
Southern New Hampshire Cars and Coffee in Salem, New Hampshire.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little bit grayer of a day. It wasn't quite... Because it was gorgeous on Saturday for the Lars Anderson Cars and Coffee.
But it didn't rain till later, so...
Yeah, but I think a lot of people stayed away because the impending nor'easter was supposed to be Sunday.
Yeah.
But that morning was actually gorgeous. Well, not gorgeous, but not raining, basically, put it that way.
It was dry.
Yeah, and there were probably 75, 80 cars that showed up for the Cars and Coffee in New Hampshire, which is at a little coffee shop in Salem, New Hampshire.
But it's like a strip mall parking lot, so plenty of space.
Plenty of room, plenty of space to do whatever you want. I think I was talking to the organizer,
Yeah.
and I think she's going to try to run it through the winter again.
Yep.
Even if people don't bring cars, at least they can gather inside and talk cars over a cup of coffee. So that'll be kind of cool.
Just talk about having her on, too.
Sure. She'd totally come on. Actually, I asked her Sunday during the...
All right.
Anyway, off
there, yeah.
Like I said, probably 75 to 85 cars there. A couple of repeats from the day before.
Mm-hmm.
That wonderful green Lamborghini, whatever it was, with green vinyl stickers all over it.
El Diablo.
Yes, which is funny. So it's a green, like...
It's a Murcielago.
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 Whatever. Porsche. With,
it's definitely Porsche.
I know. But it has stickers on it that are green on the windows and stuff that say El Diablo.
Yeah.
Which is funny because Lamborghini made a Diablo, so you would think that somebody who bought a Murcielago wouldn't call it the Diablo, being as it's the older... I don't know. It also said Ride or Die Racing Team.
There was
hopefully he doesn't listen.
There was that 911. That was at Cars and Coffee at Lars Anderson.
Yeah, and that's speaking of Dolphin Gray. That's the color that car was painted. That was an '86 911.
Yep.
That was backdated to look like a '73 RS.
Okay.
Which is like the perfect combo because the mid '80s fuel injected 911s are pretty reliable cars, and they're not worth six figures like a '73 911 RS would be.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked the part. It was Dolphin Gray.
Oh, he had houndstooth interior?
With the really nice brushed aluminum-looking Fuchs.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have any heavy motor mods. Kept it a pretty stock driver. But it had the RS bumpers, RS ducktail. It had very period, early 70s looking bucket seats that were black, but the seating inserts were houndstooth. Mm-hmm. And it had a flocked dash, and it had 2 Tag Heuer rally clocks on the dash that were really cool looking.
I really wanted to take pictures of it, but there was just a lot of people around it.
Yeah, well, I grabbed a few the next day. I've actually already posted them to our site, the Facebook page.
Front hood was up?
It was the second day, too, but he had it up because inside there he had, like, a documentation of all the work that was done to the car. I wish he would have closed it.
Which I get it. I just don't... I like when cars are displayed with all the lids closed.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. Especially because it really kind of ruins the lines of the car.
Yeah.
Up.
That's a little pet
anyway,
peeve.
I got some decent pictures of it that I already put them on the our Facebook, Instagram feed, so you can go back a couple days ago and see all those. But yeah, under the deck lid, he had, like I said, he had the original plates from the car, and then he had like a little booklet that showed the transformation and all that stuff. So, I mean, I get why he did it. The guy actually was a really cool guy to talk to, very humble about the car. He made sure the first thing he told me was that he didn't build it, which is funny because a lot of people, kind of, if they didn't build it, they're kind of embarrassed, I think, and they don't want you to know.
They don't say that.
Yeah, he was very like upfront, like, "Well, I can't take any credit for it. I didn't build it." He goes, "But I'm changing a few things here and there, and doing this and doing that." And then I was talking to him about it, and he actually was like, "What would you do?" Like, and I was like, "Well, he's asking me for suggestions. That's kind of interesting." And I told him the only thing I would do was the steering wheel and the shift boot had red stitching.
Yeah, that's kind of...
And nothing else in the car was red except for, like, the taillight lenses.
Yeah.
And I was like, I might, like, change the stitching on the steering wheel and shift boot to black just to kind of match it, or white stitching to match the houndstooth.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, yeah, that's a good idea." He goes, black would probably be easy. I could probably just dye it. And I was like, yeah, probably. So that was kind of neat. Kind of little feedback to his car, and he kind of liked hearing it. And he's talking about how this winter he's going to take it in, and there's some fitment issues he's not happy with. Just from where the body panels meet, and he's going to try to just massage it and perfect everything. And it's a pretty cool build, and a really cool guy. And I look forward to talking to him about it next year when I see it again. See all the little changes.
I wonder where it came from. Neat.
It came from Southern California its whole life.
Okay.
Then it was built by a builder in Washington, kind of a famous Porsche shop, I guess, in Washington State. And it was up there for a few years. He told me the name of the shop, and I don't remember, so bad on me. And then he bought it from the third or fourth owner after it was modified out in Washington and had it shipped out here. He just got it this year. So that was definitely my favorite car of that show, with a close second being the other car I posted a picture of, the black NSX on 5-spoke work wheels.
I love those works.
With Comptech supercharger.
Yeah.
So that was a cool car. Yeah.
That's not the one that was here in PB, was it?
Not. It might be the one on PB. I don't know. Because that one had work wheels on it, too, didn't it? So it probably is the same car.
It has to be.
It's super, super clean, though. So I don't think... The only reason I say it's not is because that car sat outside all the time. And this car has never been outside in its life.
Oh, okay.
It's clearly perfect.
Yeah. I like those. Oh, there was this perfectly stock red NSX on Saturday's Cars and Coffee. Like, had the stock wheels and everything.
Yeah, which is very rare to see.
It was really cool. Yep. So that brings us to this upcoming weekend is the NER SCCA. They're doing the Big Lap TSD.
Yep.
Starting in New Hampshire.
But TSD is a time, speed, distance rally, for those that do not know.
Unfortunately, I think by the time this goes up, the registration might be closed.
Sorry, that means tomorrow they're closing it?
I'd have to double check when it's open for the TSD. I know the Rallycross, which is on Sunday, that definitely closes Wednesday night, tonight at midnight. Okay. So pre-reg.
So I'm not doing either then.
Well, yeah, you're welcome to come hang out. But as with anybody is welcome to come spectate and watch and get
the Rallycross. The TSD is not much spectating.
No, there isn't. No, you could just sit in front of your house if it's on a street and just watch cars go by.
Yeah, because the TSD, you don't even need to have a specific car for it. Some people just do it in their daily drivers.
No, we're going to take the Crosstrek because it'll be comfortable.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I guess a lot of, Northern New Hampshire got hit really hard.
Okay.
And some of those roads are kind of...
unpassable?
Yeah, they might be rerouting some stuff, I heard, but they'll make it work.
I would still like to do it in the blue car. Because it hasn't snowed yet.
Oh, grab a co-driver.
I don't have a co-driver. I didn't think about it in time.
Yeah. It's only $25. It's cheap.
That's pretty cheap.
It's a good time. The rally master Scott, he's really good at setting up rallies.
Oh, 100%. I don't want to miss a Scott rally, but I think I'm going to have to. But what happened with you about the rallycross? Because that's pretty fun.
Oh, so former guest Dan Downey, who also owns a World Rally Blue Blobby WRX, challenged me to a daily driver rallycross off.
Yes, the gauntlet has been thrown. It was really easy to take Andrew from, I'm never going to rallycross this car, to, I've owned this car for a month, it's time to rallycross it.
Well, you see the Canaan Motor Club, Canaan. The way they run this rallycross, it's like half pavement, half dirt. Mm-hmm. And I guess it kind of ends up usually being mostly pavement because they don't want to destroy the grass around the racetrack. So it's really easy on cars as far as rallycrosses go. So I was like, And I have since I took the snow tires off of Stephanie's Outback, I have the original WRX wheels with some old Blizzaks on there that I'm going to replace anyways with the snow tires that came with the WRX. So I might as well burn them off.
In fact, those wheels came with that car brand new, didn't they?
They did.
They've been reunited.
Yes.
And it feels so good.
No. So I might as well use them and have some fun.
Absolutely. It's a good plan.
And hopefully beat Dan Downey.
Well, here's the thing. Dan Downey's been rallycrossing every event for the whole past year, and he has a lot of seat time at actual stage rallies. I do not think you're going to beat Dan Downey.
I am still a bit rusty. Ooh, okay.
I think you're not going to beat Dan Downey. No.
All right.
I don't think you think you're going to beat Dan Downey.
I might. I also registered for the same class as Jordan, so I'm going to try to beat Jordan.
Mod or prepared?
Mod all-wheel drive.
Okay, so that's what Dan's into?
Yeah, we just picked the same class.
Okay.
Because there's a couple other people that we know that are in the same class that we might as well just all race against each other.
You're really just trying to throw a wrench in the points race this year. Just by entering one time.
Because the 2 times I've raced, I've been in mod, so I might as well stick with that.
Oh, okay. My car's got lowering springs. So
yeah.
That's a quality mod for rallycross.
Yeah, exactly. It's got AGXs and lowering springs. It's good to go. Otherwise, stock.
You're probably going to rip that almost off exhaust off.
I figured that. I do have all the parts to replace the exhaust, so that might be
a push to do it.
That might be Project Car Update in a week.
A forced Project Car Update.
That's the other weird thing is I was trying to get. I've got an emissions rejection on that car. I can't get the cats to set readiness for some reason. It's been
is
like
the tune.
No, that doesn't matter. It's been. I've driven at least 900 miles. It's been 3 weeks.
Yeah, they should be set by now.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Is there a bad O2 sensor?
No code for it. I just get the phantom evap code, but that shouldn't affect.
Could it be the rusty?
But that shouldn't affect the cat setting readiness.
Rusty fuel filler pipe.
That's potentially what it might be.
No, you're right. It shouldn't affect the readiness code, but I don't understand.
Yeah. It was weird. So, whatever. We've got a fun weekend planned.
You have a weekend planned. I'm probably not going to be there.
Yeah, you can come in. Or, if it's nice, it's supposed to be pretty nice, and you don't get to the valve seals, you should do the valve seals in the Raider.
Well, hopefully we do the valve seals tomorrow night.
That's true.
Because that's the only reason I'm going to drive to Salem tomorrow night, is if we get to work on my valve seals.
All right, we'll do them.
So,
I have brake parts for your truck, too, if you want to do those.
Oh, I forgot about to do that, too. So many projects. So many projects.
Yeah, it's supposed to be nice this weekend. Get them done.
Okay, good. Well, actually, I have to winterize my camper this weekend, too.
Plenty of time. Just do it. Just do it.
Oh, too much things, not enough time.
So, speaking of time, we are... Yep. It's right about time. Calling it a podcast. Want to wrap it up?
Yes, please.
All right.
You said it 4 times now, so let's just do it.
I was saying it to you to wrap it up.
Yes.
Where can we find you on social medias?
Find me at TSISS350 on Instagram. Find me at Vintage Imports of NE on Instagram as well, and Facebook.
You can follow the podcast, Auto Off Topic Podcast, on Facebook, Auto Off Topic on Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram at Raced in Anger. Of course, make sure to like, share, and rate our podcast on iTunes. Also, if you'd like, please set us to get alerts on Facebook so you'll see our posts, especially when we want to ask for listener questions. That way you can participate with us. We really appreciate it. And as always, keep your cars analog.